Hello and welcome to the 12th video of the ParkLogic video series. I'm Tim and this is Michael.
Hi, how you going everyone?
And today you might have noticed we have switched it up a little again. We're here with Operations Manager Laci Nagy. Just say hi to the camera.
G'day.
Okay, so today rather than talking about domains or just the systems of ParkLogic, we're going to be focusing on more of the human side. You know, we start to bring people out in front of the camera and, you know, get an insight into who is actually managing your domains if you're with ParkLogic, or who could be potentially managing domains if you're not with us yet.
Yeah, I must admit, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Just please don't give the different people we interview and things like that that much of a hard time. But they are a critical part. We see that the real assets in ParkLogic is not just the systems, but the people behind the systems.
That's exactly right.
Because they're the ones that are actually managing your domains, aren't they, Tim?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we've got to ask the question, Tim, have you had your domainos today?
I always have my domainos.
We always have our domainos, don't we? For breakfast, the first thing we do is check those domains and make sure they're good, that's for sure. So Laci, you haven't been working in ParkLogic since you were knee-high during Grasshopper. You've been doing a few things behind the scenes, haven't you, over the years? And maybe you could tell the audience here a few things about yourself.
It's all right. Thanks, Mark. Well, I started out as knee-high during Grasshopper, as most people do. And as I grew up, I ended up joining the Royal Australian Air Force.
Oh, the Air Force. What sort of things did you do in the Air Force?
Well, actually, I was trained to be a pilot, and by the time I finished with the Air Force, I'd actually worked as a grad school instructor teaching aerodynamics to pilots.
Wow! So that's like high-end maths type stuff.
Yeah, that was actually quite good.
Oh,
it was
wow.
one of the best jobs in the world, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was a very good job.
Doing lots of sophisticated mathematical calculations.
Yeah, all that good stuff. You know, like high-speed aerodynamics, shock waves, all that stuff.
So all the stuff that I don't know much about.
So that'll put you in good stead for like when you're working on algorithms from ParkLogic and that sort of stuff. I know particularly with David, one of the ParkLogic team. In fact, one of the founders is going to be interviewing him later on. But that'll really help you understanding a lot of those sort of things.
Yeah, actually, it does make life a lot easier when it comes to keeping track of what's going on and maths and stuff like that.
So you wouldn't believe, let me just say, is that the amount of maths that Laci's talking about isn't this big, but it is massive. We have spreadsheets that will take literally hours and hours and hours to calculate in some cases. But anyway, so where did you go from after that?
Well, after that, I ended up starting my own training company.
Okay.
So I was training people in using softwares like office products and database management.
Okay.
And I ended up working with one of the premier mining companies in their IT department, doing IT support and database development, running databases for them to track shipping and stuff like that.
Fantastic. So you were tracking the ships all around the world with computers?
Tracking ships. Actually, we were taking, what we do is we're actually taking observations from people saying, I saw a ship in port over there and it looked like it was unloading. And our database would then turn around and go, well, we know how big that ship is, how quickly it unloads. So it's probably able to turn up in the next port, in 2 or 3 weeks' time.
So let me understand this. So you're tracking these massive ships around the world and predicting where they'll go next.
Predicting when they're going to be available to be hired.
Isn't that sort of like managing traffic for domains?
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, so it's almost exactly the same. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you then moved on from there and you entered domains.
Oh, look, while I was still doing all of that stuff, you and I, as you both know, way back when, we found out about domains, and again, something that you can invest in for a few bucks. So we did the same thing. We started buying domains and watching that 20 cents a day turn into $1 a day, turn into $20 a day,
and just continue to grow and that sort of stuff.
Grow and grow.
Yeah, which has been fun. And then we moved on to ParkLogic. So, just with ParkLogic, what sort of things did you end up doing?
What don't I end up doing? The behind the scenes stuff. In most cases, making sure that the systems are running correctly. We've got the data coming in the way that's meant to be. The data's calculating the way it's meant to. We're getting the results that we're expecting, and tweaking the algorithms and stuff like that with Dave and the rest. to make sure we get the best results.
I'll tell you what, Laci is giving a small glimpse to some of the things that he does, that's for sure. Yeah, so what did you say to some of the things, other things you were doing?
Oh, so the other things, well, we talked about the maths earlier. We're doing a lot of the development for the algorithms behind the systems that are the systems, I guess.
Yeah.
So doing development there with, particularly recently, we've just upgraded the switching algorithm again for...
Why would you do that?
Well, as you go through and you see how things are performing and you look at ways things can go better, we come across, how do you put it? They're not loopholes or holes in the system where you can exploit some sort of gain, and you discover areas where we can actually increase value in domains and their earnings. So this is
like a constant process.
Yeah.
So we're constantly reinventing the new algorithms to everything to extract a little bit more value, a little bit more value, a little bit more value.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and each time we learn, or more importantly, each time the game changes and all the rules change, we go through this process and we redevelop the switching algorithms to make the best possible use of rule changes or opportunities that have come up.
Yeah, I think it's really important. The thing that I know ParkLogic really focuses on is making sure we always provide value to advertisers.
Absolutely.
Isn't that true, Tim?
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, because the thing we want to make sure we're doing is ultimately we have good quality traffic going to the right advertisers. And part of these new switching algorithms, for instance, is making sure that the traffic arrives to the right advertiser.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that it's a benefit for the advertiser, but it's also a benefit for the domain owner so they can get maximum value. Isn't that... That's
absolutely true. Yeah, and each time we find a new avenue where we can actually monetize traffic, that requires the switch algorithms and all that to be changed to incorporate that and make the best use of that as we can.
Yeah, I know one of the things we look at with the switch is how we can extract more value from the domains. We do anything on the side which is, in your court anyway, which is how do we plug the holes? I think that the term called auditing.
Ah, yeah. Look... Yeah. Any domainer who has been in the business for a while has a million spreadsheets, maybe even the database could be a typical sort of Access database, trying to keep track of what's going on. One of the biggest problems is you have to know where your domains are. You need to know where they're registered and are they pointing to where you think they are.
Yeah.
Because look, stuff happens and domain registries. Sometimes things get changed. You may press a button and suddenly you find that you've accidentally bulk changed a whole set of DNS entries. Could be that the parking companies that you're using have, for some reason, had requests for transfers by somebody trying to grab your names and have moved them out in good faith.
So that happens all the time.
So it's really the repair sort of idea.
Well, it's that maintenance is, do I have this domain? Is it in my registry account? Is it pointing to where I want it to point? Is it, when I've got it there, does that parking company actually know that it's there and crediting me with the money?
So it's like the WD-40 and the gaffer tape and the elastic bands of domaining.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
making sure it all hangs together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me tell you, when I speak to domain owners, and I do that, that's my job, is I am speaking to them over and over again. Probably 90% of them don't realise that this actually occurs. Things like their DNSs get changed by the registrar or something like that at the time of renewal. Some registrars do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the fact that domains may be moved out of their parking account for whatever. These are all, we call them revenue leakages, and there's something that we have spent a huge amount of time stopping. And I'll tell you one thing, we did an updated audit of the system, and I remember seeing some clients' accounts, they're trending down, suddenly bang, they went up again. Because why? We began to get a hold on that in a better sort of way.
Yeah,
so we've got to do that sort of thing. So what's happening in the future, do you think?
Well, apart from the audit that's just going through, we're also working on the user interface. We've got a good interface, and a lot of people comment on how nice the interface is. But what we're doing right now is having a look at a redesign of the whole thing and paring away some of the things that people might find complicated or may not necessarily need, and actually just focusing on how to make it as quick as possible and give you the information.
We're just going to cut it there for a minute, but I'd like to follow up on that, on the interface and some of the things we're doing on that, because these are the things that we always want to get feedback from. Okay, so let's have a break right now, and we'll be back in about 10 seconds. and we'll talk about the interface a bit more.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Okay, we're just back right now, but so tell us a little bit more about that interface.
Well, the interface, we've had, ParkLogic really relies on feedback from its customers, and we've had a lot of people come back going, look, this is all really impressive, and I really appreciate it all, but at the end of the day, I'm not really interested in this part or that part. I'm more interested in this bit of information that you're giving me.
Yeah.
So we're taking that on board as we do, and we want to redesign the interface and actually sort of make it more user-friendly, because it actually gives the customers the information they want more readily, rather than confusing them.
I think one of the things that the feedback we have come through is that ParkLogic is known as one of the most sophisticated domain management platforms in the world.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And it's a huge amount of information. Like I spoke to a person the other day, and they said to me, "I've never seen anything like this. Was this the best kept secret in the domain industry, ParkLogic, and all the different features you guys have?" And so one of the things I know we
try to tell people about it.
Yeah, well, we're all the time doing it. But one of the things we're doing is wanting to streamline the interface so that it presents the information in still the same volume, or get the hands on it, but at the same time making it easier.
Yeah, that's true. We're into managing large amounts of domains, and we need to really distill that down a bit more. And I think, like we have with the switch algorithm, improving it, we've got ways we can actually improve the way the information is being displayed.
Yeah, I think that's great. So what else is on the sort of roadmap moving ahead?
Well, again, as we're talking about the ideas that we get back from our customers, we have an ideas section there where they actually give us, I'd like to see this. Is it possible to do this or do that or whatever?
Yeah, I know we're serious about that. I look at the ideas area. There's a whole area inside the client interface which is just for ideas.
Yeah, that's right.
And I look at those and we glean them and pull them out and say, gee, that's a great idea. Let's go along and implement that.
Yeah, that's right. But one of the ideas that came up was the concept of the marketplace. Actually, people saying, I want to be able to sell my domains as well as park them at the same time. And there was nothing around that that would enable that to be done. So we actually took that on board and we put out the Marketplace Mark 1.
Yep.
And that's been happening for quite a while. But look, we know that there's some problems with that. So what we're doing is we're looking at that, redoing that, and we really want to make that I guess the ultimate marketplace, something where we can, that you can park your domains with us with all the management experience that we have and the algorithms behind it, and on top of that, still have the ability to comprehensively keep track of whether people want to buy your name, when that's happening, and do the negotiations, the whole bit.
Yeah, I think the important thing here is that we're constantly listening to customers so that we can go along and really improve. It's not necessarily just dealing with problems or something like that. No. It's the constant improvement.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And I know the marketplace, some of the ideas that have come from customers have been fantastic. So some of you out there who have given some great ideas,
thank you very much.
Amazing. And they're on the roadmap now to improve and to make that whole thing better. It's something that we're really committed to as the marketplace. Yeah. But anyway,
so this has been great talking. Thank you very much, Laci. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like us, to subscribe to us.
Make sure we like the likes.
Yeah, we do. Come check us out. And remember, if you're applying for a ParkLogic account, put your #1 domain as ParkLogicVideos.com. Yeah. That helps me out to try and confirm you as a real person.
And it helps me out too,
to confirm you as a real person, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, see you guys next time. It's been great talking with you.
Bye.
Bye.